Another game that came down to the wire, basically, for the Boston Celtics, and signs of progress. One play, two results. I'll talk about it right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Thanks to Blockbuster brand, it's holiday season. Drop Drew in the mix. And 3 from KP, no, we not on the Knicks. Flushing competition like Al on Giannis. Juice and Big Deuce, still Beantown's finest. Banner 18 going up in the rafters. Watch the C's game in Locked On after. Karalis on the breakdown. Clutch like a tip from D. White on the breakdown. John on the mic, documenting domination. Matter pen a back bay, it's all C's nation. Rain and J's, how we started, raising banners, how we finish. Locked On Celtics pod, home of the winners. Peace.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day, and I got you covered every single day, Monday through Friday, plus bonus podcasts on a Saturday night, Sunday morning. We've skipped ahead, we've sprung forward, and the Celtics have sprung their way, that doesn't make much sense, to a 10-point win in Phoenix, breaking a 2-game losing streak. The Celtics still have not lost more than 2 games in a row this season. They only have 2 losing streaks this year. That is pretty incredible when you think about it. As much as people are losing their minds over the Celtics and what can they do and what might not they not be able to do, 2 losing streaks of only 2 games. That's impressive. That's a good basketball team. And honestly, this was a good win in Phoenix where we saw signs of progress. So let's just dive into it here. 10-point win. The big story to me is the final 5 minutes or so. The Kevin Durant had just an amazing game. He was doing crazy stuff, hitting insane shots. He's an all-timer, and you saw why. He just continues to put teams on his back. It's wild to see him score. So he was doing his thing, and the Celtics had a 15-point lead, maybe a 16-point lead at one point, and they were in the fourth quarter, starting to make those same mistakes. Jayson Tatum threw 2 of the worst passes of his career, just completely out of bounds on consecutive possessions. Threw one behind, I think, Holiday, one way over Peyton Pritchard's head. That would have been over Victor Wembanyama's head. He just didn't look – it just felt like, oh, God, this is happening again. And then Jaylen Brown, they call a timeout. It's 3:55 to go. The lead is down to 5. So that makes this an official clutch game for the Celtics. The lead gets down to 5. Joe Mazzulla calls a timeout. All they need to do is score. They just need to score a basket. As I've said a million times here, fourth quarter, when you've got a lead, is just about making any buckets you can, scoring points in any way you can. Yes, generate 3-pointers, all that stuff. Keep doing your stuff, but also just score. Doesn't matter. If you get a good mid-range shot, take it. All you have to do is score when you have a lead. Well, excuse me. Jaylen Brown comes out, gets fouled, misses. He missed the first free throw, and I knew right away he was missing the second one, and he did. And I thought, okay, this is how this is going to go. Okay, let's see what they got. I tweeted out on March 1st that I wouldn't be upset if the Celtics got 3-4 games where they had last-minute shots, last-second shots to tie or win or whatever. They've had similar opportunities that didn't fall, and here they were in another clutch opportunity. And they said, "All right, let's see what they do." And the biggest sign of progress to me to correct this weakness was the Al Horford 3-pointer, where the Celtics ran this kind of a flare screen for Jaylen Brown. So Drew Holiday comes across, sets a pick at the nail, the middle of the free throw line, for Jaylen Brown to kind of flare out. And the first time they ran that play, because teams switch everything in these scenarios at end of game situations. Holiday read it. He slipped into the space right in the middle. Tatum hits him with the pass. And because two guys went with Jaylen Brown originally, Holiday was left wide open. I think it was Bradley Beal had to leave Horford off the corner because it was going to be a layup. And Holiday just kicks it to the corner. And Al Horford has a corner three-pointer that's so wide open, everybody was in the paint. No one was any closer to him than Beal, who had taken maybe by that time he shot one step out of the paint. And Horford hits it. And immediately I'm like, oh my God, they finally, A, ran a play, and B, Tatum passed the ball. Like, this is great. This is a sign of progress. So what do? They ran the play again. The next possession down, they ran the play again. But this time, and I broke this down on Boston Sports Journal, this time, Holiday sets the screen. He cuts down the middle. Grayson Allen goes with him instead of two going with Jaylen Brown. This time, Jaylen goes all the way to the three-point line. And now you have Jaylen at the right three-point break. I think Derek White in the right corner, Horford in the left corner, and Holiday in the left dunker spot, right around just outside the lane. Now Tatum has a lane, a nice big wide open lane, and no help is coming. There's no second hand slapping at the ball. It's just him against Kevin Durant. Love KD, but you're 35 and Tatum can bust you. And Tatum smartly, this is so smart, two dribbles or one dribble to the left, I forget, but dribble to the left because that means Grayson Allen has to stay on his guy and Horford's guy has to stay on him. So those guys can't just come on over and help. Then Tatum spins. And when Tatum spins, White is one pass away. Jaylen Brown is one pass away. So those defenders they're frozen. They can't do much. And it's just a nice, big, wide open swath of lane for him to go and get the layup. Only open because that play before he passed the ball. And because it was a pass and a kick and a three-pointer, that forced the Suns to play the second version of this play differently. And then, and only then, was Tatum able to isolate effectively. Tatum loves to ISO. That's fine. He can do it one-on-one. The problem in these late game situations, the problem that we saw against Cleveland, the problem that we saw against Denver is when he isolates, it's not always one-on-one. Someone's helping, someone's coming over, someone is selling out because they know he's not going to pass. By passing the ball to Drew Holiday on that first version of the play that got Al Horford the three, that forced Phoenix to defend the same play differently the next time down. And Boston's versatility, guys who can hit shots, guys who can drive, guys who can do everything. Now that all comes into play, but none of it comes into play unless Tatum makes the pass and shows he's willing to make the pass. And if anything, if this game teaches him anything, if this game teaches the team anything, it's that, A, you can run actual plays down the stretch. Because what has been the problem for the Celtics when turnovers are an issue, when they don't execute down the stretch? The problem is that Tatum and Brown dribble into too many guys and they turn the ball over. late game offenses simplify because they don't want to turn the ball over. The Celtics, though, have shown in their late game situations that they say, yeah, you got to simplify. And I think the biggest issue that the Celtics have kind of faced over these past few years is guys doing what they think they should do versus just kind of doing what the game kind of tells them to do. Like Tatum says, I'm a superstar. I should be taking over down the stretch. Jaylen Brown, I'm a star player. I'm a superstar too. I should be taking over down the stretch. Well, boys, when you go out there and try to take over down the stretch, I hate to tell you, but you turn the ball over. You get double teamed and trapped, and it's not good. It's not good. But when you pass the ball, like this Celtics team should, I can understand it with, you got Marcus Smart and Robert Williams, and there's two non-shooters, and the spacing's kind of bad, and you don't have a lot of great offensive options as far as your spacing goes. I get it. I get it more there. But on this team, Derek White and Drew Holiday and Al Horford, no Kristaps Porzingis in this one, but that's fine. But this, like Tatum and Brown, have to get out of the habit. And this is why I love the fact that these guys are getting these late game clutch situations. I love the fact that this whole road trip has been late game clutch situations. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Because the more film you get where you can say, hey, look, you passed the ball and it was fine. Like Joe Mazzulla can see it and say, we can run plays. Boston's turnover problems come when individuals try to do too much. When you run a play and guys are actually passing the ball and moving, the Celtics don't turn the ball over because they're crisp with that. They protect the ball very well. So the end of this game against Phoenix, to me, that one play that they ran consecutively, to me, that's a big sign of progress. That's something you can look at in film, and you get lessons out of that are so valuable. Tatum and Brown, look at what happens when you make that pass the first time, and now the entire defense is thinking, oh crap, we have to defend the pass. If a defense has to defend the pass from Tatum and from Brown, then they're toast. They're done. They're cooked. Boston is winning that game. But if they don't respect the pass, then they can double and sell out and blitz Tatum and Brown. And then you get a little dicey. Maybe it'll work sometimes. Maybe it won't. But if they have to defend the pass, which is what Grayson Allen had to do on that second version of that play that got Jayson Tatum that layup, if they have to defend that pass, then you've got nothing. Because one-on-one defense on Jayson Tatum, it's going to be very difficult. Tatum is that good. He's just going to beat that more often than not. But he's not going to beat one-on-two, right? He's just not going to get through that. And Jaylen's not going to beat one-on-two. But one-on-one, yeah, you can do that. So more than anything in this game, that's my huge, big takeaway. It's a sign of progress. Can they build on that? Give me more clutch situations. Give me more tight games down the stretch so we can see this over and over and over again. And maybe they can get used to the fact that, hey, it's the last 3-4 minutes. There's so much time there. We can work on plays, and it's not just hunting a mismatch. It's not just, oh, you've got Grayson Allen on you. Come set the pick for me. Then we can switch, and then I'm just going to go one-on-one. But it's not really going to be one-on-one. It's going to be one-on-two because they don't respect my pass. So it's going to be me against the world. Can't do that. Hopefully that's done. Run those two plays together on a loop in the film session for an hour. And put like, I forget what movie that was, where they get the guy's eyes pinned wide open. Like, watch these plays, Jayson and Jaylen. Watch these two plays over and over and over and over again. And that's how it should be moving forward. Everyone contributed in this game. Everyone contributed. Jaylen, even though he struggled a little bit early, missing a bunch of layups, he got it together. The first three, I think he missed 3 layups in the first quarter. It was that the layups in the first quarter were kind of weird to me. But anyway, he bounced back. He had a nice game, 27 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, shot 47.5%. 3 of 7 from 3. Again, with the 2 free throws is my biggest criticism of him right now, is the free throw shooting. But otherwise, pretty good game from Jaylen Brown. Jayson Tatum didn't shoot well. 11 of 28, not even 40%, but 5 of 9 from 3. That's good. 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 29 points. He had the 4 turnovers. So he had a good second half. Struggled early on, but got it going in the second half. And aside from those 2 bad turnovers, stepped up. Derek White was all over the place. D. White is, first of all, if he doesn't make an all defensive team, we riot. That's if he does not make all defensive team, then it's just no. Storm the NBA offices and demand a recount. He's so good. That block shot that he had was like reaching back, like he goes up, his momentum is going to the left, but he still reaches, has the wherewithal to turn, spot the ball, and kind of block it behind him. Are you kidding me? What a great play. He was amazing, and he had 9 assists, 10 points, 9 assists. Drew Holiday, 15.6 rebounds, a couple of steals. He also had a block shot. He had that big assist to Al Horford. He hit some big shots. Just the combined guards for the Celtics were everywhere on the floor. They just did everything. It was those 2 guys were clutch key players, and key to this win. The bench, shout out to the bench after a bad performance in Denver. They all stepped up. Luke Cornett was huge in this game, 14.6 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, and a block shot, plus challenging a couple of shots. I'll even give him a break on the Cornett contest, which I hate, but the taking advantage of their pick and roll defense, the Suns pick and roll defense, Cornett was just getting in there for lob after lob after lob. He was very effective. He just makes the right plays. He works. It just works with him. And that was a good matchup for him. So Cornett was huge. Peyton Pritchard comes in early, gets a couple of layups. When the Celtics were struggling to get layups, make layups, he was right there. He made a couple, and that actually seemed to settle people down. He had a couple of 3-pointers, big minutes from Peyton Pritchard. Sam Hauser only hits 1 3-pointer, but man, he was effective. He was effective defensively. He did a really good job. And then Al Horford, who didn't hit much, he was 0 of 6 from 3 until that one in the corner made him 1 for 7. But awesome. Just first of all, having the stones to take and make that shot was big. But then also 12 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, 3 assists for him. He did other things. He defended well. He had a couple of possessions there where he got switched on to Kevin Durant, stayed in front of him, forced the miss. So Al Horford did a good job. Like everybody who played for the Celtics did a good job. This was a great team effort. They overcame some stuff early on. Shots weren't falling early on, but all of a sudden they were able to kind of kick it into gear. So was it their best game? No, it wasn't their best game, but I'm happy with the progress that they showed in this game. I thought that was very, very good. So just a nice bounce back. They haven't lost, like I said before, they haven't lost 3 in a row yet. And who knows, they might not at this point. But road trip continues. They play on Monday and Tuesday. Monday in Portland, Tuesday in Utah. It's going to be a tough back-to-back. 3 games in 4 nights. You lose an hour now heading into Portland, and yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But the more uncomfortable they are, the better right now, because they're going to be able to figure that out. Still, obviously, very confident in them winning a championship. I think they're going to win a championship, but it's very easy for that confidence to be shaken after this week. But this was a good game. This was a good game for them to figure some things out, and I think they did. I think, well, the opportunity to figure things out kind of presented itself, and I think they will. But look, they got to Phoenix. They got to go play some golf. I thought it was really funny to see the tan lines. Tatum, Hauser. You can see the golf shirt lines, and it's kind of funny. But you could tell that get out there and get your 80-degree weather and spend a few hours on the links. And Tatum said he won some money from his teammates. It's good to go out there, have some fun, and do something like play golf. It's nice, calm, low impact activity. And I think it was good for them. And look, they managed to pull this out. Durant was awesome. They didn't have Booker, but Durant was awesome. And I think the Celtics did a pretty decent job holding everybody else in check for the most part. So yeah, good win. And I'm hoping that this progress carries over. Hope you enjoyed this bonus podcast for the Locked On Celtics podcast. If you're new, if you've just found this podcast, subscribe, open it up, and go download it and subscribe and all that good stuff. Hop into the comment section of the YouTube, on the YouTube page. Become an everydayer. Let me know what you think, and share the podcast. Spread the word. Tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.